California Governor Gavin Newsom is heading to Washington, D.C. to confront Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans for depriving Los Angeles of the necessary recovery federal aid after the disastrous fires last year. Now, California Governor Gavin Newsom is also powerfully calling out Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans for their behavior and despicable conduct. For example, as California Governor Gavin Newsom is heading to Washington, D.C., as Trump and MAGA try to attack Newsom's going on the offense, and he's posting things like this. It's a photo of Donald Trump sleeping during one of the recent cabinet meeting, and Governor Newsom says, "Built different," and it's a photo of Donald Trump sleeping. Governor Newsom then posts the following: "What a message. How dare you want to be able to pay your bills?" in response to Donald Trump in the Oval Office saying, "Affordability, it's a con job. Everybody knows it's a con job." No, you're a con job, Donald. Everything you do is fraud. Upon the news that the United States economy lost 32,000 private sector jobs in November, according to the latest ADP data, Governor Newsom responds, "Great job, Donald. Well done." Also, Governor Newsom talks about how he's heading to D.C. to push for the long overdue federal aid package for L.A. fire survivors. Despite bipartisan support in Congress, the Trump regime still hasn't sent a recovery proposal 10 months after California's first request. How despicable. Governor Newsom stopped by the New York Times Deal Book Summit and gave an incredible discussion as well. Governor Newsom talks about how Trump and these crony capitalists are trying to build exemptions for themselves over tariffs while screwing over small businesses and medium-sized businesses and the American people in general who are paying those tariffs. Powerful moment of that discussion right here. Let's play it.
I'm serious. If you were Tim Cook, under the circumstances, and he's in your state, under the circumstances he is in, which is he manufactures a lot of stuff in China, and he was worried about the tariffs.
He was able to make a phone call that no small business in my state could have made. I mean, how about my farmers and ranchers in California? How about all these small and medium-sized businesses that can't pick up the phone and get an exemption on their tariffs? So yeah, it breaks my heart a little bit. That's a version of crony. That is, by definition, crony capitalism. It is the definition of it. But what is he? Back to the generous analysis. That's called being a fiduciary, doing what he needs to do on behalf of his shareholders. That's his job. So do I begrudge that? Yes. But do I begrudge him? Not as much. But what I do begrudge is the tone and tenor that this administration is set and the expectations they've set that if you don't do the bidding, you don't write the check, you don't get the contract. Directing contracts, changing procurement, sole source on this, sole source that. This is a different level than we've ever seen in the past. Some would argue, okay, it's just more transparent. BS. It's at a different scale than we've seen in the past. And for those that are complicit and participatory in that beyond their fiduciary responsibility, that's where I have a real problem.
Next, Governor Newsom says something that really resonates with me, which is if we don't democratize our economy and allow for a fairer distribution of wealth, democracy is going to die. You know, people talk about our economy as a K-shaped economy. Just think about the letter K, right? Where one line is going all the way up and one line is going all the way down. In other words, the rich are getting richer and they're doing well in this economy, but most Americans are struggling and suffering. That's not a sustainable way to run a country, as the majority, most people, 99%, are getting screwed and only billionaires are the ones who are benefiting. Here, play this clip.
We have a party that I think needs to design and develop a compelling economic vision for the future where people feel included, to reconcile the fact that if we don't democratize our economy, we're not going to save democracy. And I don't think it's healthy that we have 10% of people that own 2/3 the wealth in this country. I don't think it's sustainable practice. The folks watching Mr. Beast, disproportionately 30-year-olds, the first generation in history not doing better than their parents. There's some underlying issues here that have to be addressed. We have an economy that is broken for too many people.
The holidays are here, and if you're searching for a truly meaningful gift, something for a loved one, or honestly just a well-deserved reset for yourself heading into the new year, this is it. Meet Remarkable, the paper tablet. This thing is freaking awesome. You know my life is nonstop between shows, writing scripts, breaking news. It never ends. And what I love about my Remarkable is that it helps pull me out of the chaos. It helps me actually focus on what matters. It's the one screen I use that does not pull me into 1,000 alerts or distractions. It's got no apps, no social media, no notifications, just pure uninterrupted focus. The design is actually incredibly thin and premium, and the feel of writing on it is so close to real paper that it's become my go-to for organizing everything. I'm already using mine to outline our 2026 projects and map out our goals for the network. It keeps all my notes, ideas, and drafts in one place, and I could even convert my handwriting into text instantly. And I keep thinking about who in my life needs this: the busy parents juggling everything, the students, the creatives, honestly, anyone who could use the present of being present. You can choose the version that fits your life: the original black and white Remarkable 2, the advanced color Remarkable Paper Pro, or the portable Paper Pro Move. That's the one that I'm using right here. This holiday season, give the gift of being present. Find the perfect distraction-free paper tablet at remarkable.com. That's remarkable.com.
Next, Governor Newsom talks about how, these MAGA Republicans have California derangement syndrome. All these red states want to attack California, but without California, these red states wouldn't exist. California is the fourth largest economy in the world if it were a country, and it is leading the way in the United States as the most prosperous and wealthy state. It's giving the most to the federal government as well. Here, play this clip.
We went from the sixth largest economy to the fourth largest economy, $4.1 trillion a year. We have more Fortune 500 companies than we've ever had in the last 2 decades. Went from 49 now to 58 Fortune 500 companies. You brought up Sam Altman a moment ago, the largest market cap private company in world history. He decided just a few weeks ago where to headquarter it, in the state of California, with more scientists, engineers, more Nobel laureates, venture capital, over $106 billion this year, 68% of that invested back into the state of California. Finest system of higher education in the world, a conveyor belt for talent like no other. I mentioned the R&D investments. The future happens in my state first, where America's coming attraction. That said, I also will reinforce the obvious. We're also the dominant manufacturing hub in the United States of America. $405.6 billion, 13.9% of the U.S. manufacturing. Compare that to Ron DeSantis, 2.8% in Florida. We're the dominant ag state, $62.1 billion, forestry, hunting jobs, ag jobs. You talk about farmers and ranchers. You're talking about my home state of California. The state of California has seen population increase. We had a Treasury Secretary here who needs to actually get some facts. You challenged him on some. California saw a population increase last year of 108,000, 105,000 the prior year, 49,000 the prior year before that. You got to update your talking points. There's California derangement syndrome.
Also, Governor Newsom talks about the Trump regime's 1800s approach to manufacturing. Let's play it.
China understands the opportunity. It's about markets, it's about supply chains, and it's about influence. They're doing it in Latin America, South America, increasingly in Europe. And we are doubling down on stupid here in the United States. 70% of the EV market is coming out of China now. They're 3x the manufacturing of automobiles that we are in the United States of America, about 31 plus million vehicles to our 10. And it's the tech stack where they're dominating. It's batteries, it's software, it's the future, it's mobility. And so, yeah, I'm a little ticked off that these guys want to pave over the old cow path as opposed to transform the industry and the technology and lower costs for consumers, and not have the socialized cost of pollution and lousy health as a byproduct of it.
And also, Governor Newsom talks about how California is partnering with other states to reduce costs and push for long-term comprehensive strategies. Play this clip.
We just came out with $11 insulin. We're not subsidizing the cost of insulin. We're manufacturing it. Reducing costs, not subsidizing costs. We just came out with a new strategy to provide $60 billion of utility rebates in the state of California through our Cap and Invest program, regionalizing our grid with other Western states to lower costs, deal with curtailment issues, create more stability on our grid to also address that issue.
And here's where Governor Newsom talks about the ruthlessness, the cruelty, and unusual behavior of the Trump regime sending its Gestapo to attack cities across this country. Here, play this clip.
He sent Greg Bovino and his secret police that seemed to have taken an oath in office to him, not the Constitution of the United States, to our campaign kickoff at the Democracy Center to chill participation in our rally. And he federalized 4,000 National Guard and sent 700 active duty Marines, not overseas, but to the second largest city in America. And they're still, our federalized Guard, still there. Wake up to what is going on in this country.
Now, Governor Newsom continued to post photos of Donald Trump sleeping with messages like he remains the most accessible and energetic president in history in response to right-wing trolls who are now comprising the press corps at the Pentagon, as the Pentagon has purged itself of actual reporters there, like Laura Loomer. And Laura Loomer posts, "I've got your office now, Washington Post." Governor Newsom posts the meme like this, "I'm a real journalist now." And it's someone who's trying to put a square through a circle in response to Pete Hegseth posting this despicable meme of Franklin killing people on fishing boats. Governor Newsom posts this image, "Just go to prison, Pete. Just go to prison, Pete." And of course, to troll Donald Trump, Governor Newsom reposts this account saying, "Gavin Newsom is the country's strongest and most powerful governor we've ever seen since 1776. No MRI or medical exam could ever possibly compete with the greatest governor ever. Donald Trump stands no chance at all." Should be noted too, and Governor Newsom points this out, nearly 1,000 NIH grants in California have been hit by Trump's cuts. The state's collective loss of more than $500 million in NIH funding is more than a third of the $1.3 billion lost across the United States. Nearly 400 clinical trials, dozens for new drugs lost funding. According to research published this month, Trump administration policies will hand China the worldwide leadership in biotech on a silver platter. It's like, what the hell is this Trump regime doing? Also, in response to the news that Republicans will now be challenging vehicle safety mandates such as automatic emergency braking and alarms that remind drivers a child is in the back seat, Governor Newsom writes, "Republican priorities: ensure it's easier to get into a car accident." Great work. And just think about what these Republicans sit around and think about, right? It's like they go, "Let's make nursing no longer a professional degree." Aha! Or the Republicans say, "You know what we need to bring back in the Coast Guard? The swastika and the Confederate flag and the noose." And someone's like, "Great idea, let's go and do that." Or they're like, "You know what we really need to get rid of? Safety features in cars." Horrific, horrific, horrific. Governor Newsom then posted the following message to the Trump regime around the holidays. "Happy holidays to everyone except the seriously demented piggy who turned the Oval Office into a revolving door for grifters and crooks, a true discount bin administration dividing our country while shredding the Constitution in broad daylight." There you have it, folks. Governor Newsom powerfully confronting Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.